Okay, June, we seem to have the lawnmower a little bit more at a distance, so we'll start again. And you were talking about, well, we might not have the lawnmower at a distance, but if you speak up, it's great. We were talking about high school.
Right.
Do you remember how many kids were in your high school class?
Yeah, there was probably be about 30 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what, do you remember the year you graduated?
I'm 19. Graduated from high school when I was 18,
Okay. Well, we can figure that out too.
Right, yeah.
But you have friends from that graduating class still
Yeah, everybody.
in
Yeah.
in town?
They are. Yeah, they're all in town, the ones we went to school with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And still, and many of them are still living?
Yes, yeah, quite a few.
And do you ever go to any reunions of your classmates, or do you
Well,
see them?
Not like they used to, but we go, now they got a lot more fancy stuff now, but anyway.
Uh-huh.
But,
And when you were in high school, did you go to any dances, or what did you do for fun?
well, we did a lot of things, and we had, if they wanted to go play, they got to play inside the buildings, before, now those buildings are different because.
Sure.
And so we did a lot of things there, and we did walking, we did all kinds of things, so. But other than that, we were busy all the time, and yeah.
Did you work as a young person? Did you go off to work, or did you work in doing any picking or farm stuff? Or
I didn't have to do farm stuff, but we did a lot of work with my father. They had cows. We had a few cows and
Oh.
everything on Hayden Road.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then my father, wanted to go to Maine, so they went to Maine for a while, and they came down here and left. And then my father was 50, a little over 50, and he died. And you know why? So
No.
these men who smoked,
Yeah.
they all smoked, and most of the time they died when they're younger,
Yeah.
And my father was a wonderful man, and he was stuttered. He stuttered when he was little, but he was a great worker, and everybody loved his work. If you would see a lot of it right up in Hopkinton, on the streets. If you went down some of those houses, those big houses.
Yep.
Yeah, and on Hayden Row Street, the one on Hayden Row.
Yep. Now, how did your mother make out? Because some of the children must still have been young when your dad died.
Well, he died. I can't remember exactly, but my mother just died. 330. She was 13. She was 100. No, she was up $113, $138, I think, when she died.
Wow. So she was quite elderly when she died.
Yes, but she still was very smart. She only lived in the house for 6 days, 6 weeks. She stayed in when you go to the office.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're recording again, June, and you were mentioning that your family had a cow where you lived, and I was going to ask if other people had other animals, and you began to talk about somebody had chickens nearby, or quite a few.
And they had horses and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And that was a nice area right down there where.
Yeah, it was quiet.
Yes, and you probably would know where it
Oh,
is.
I'm sure I
When you drive
would.
down, you would know. If you were going to go to Holliston, you just have to take
Sure.
the left.
Yep.
And my sister lives in Holliston.
Yes. Now, how did you meet let's advance to when you were a young married woman. Where did your husband come from?
He came from.
He wasn't from
Hopkinton.
Was he from Hopkinton too?
Well, they lived up. I think I don't know if it was Hopkinton, but it was in. A little more than that, I think. See, I can't remember.
That's okay. Not too far away.
Yeah, right.
And what did your husband do for work?
My husband, well, he did a lot of, I have to tell you this before this. When I went down to, not Cape Cod, but I went to, not Maryland, down there, but anyway, at this time, we came down from up here and we went down to, not before you got to the Cape. And when I went, and then they said, well, why don't you go in here, there was a place that you could walk across, right? So they said, well, why don't you take a walk across? Well, they never told me to duck. And that's why my brain is not that great, you know. So
Oh, you had an injury.
Yes, yeah, because it got hit, you know, right there. And now it can still, you know, I'm still, you know,
You're doing fine.
Yeah,
You're doing fine.
But forgetting, you know, the forgetting.
That's okay.
Yeah, right.
Did that happen? We were going to go back, talking about your husband, and did you have children also with your husband?
With my,
Did you ever have any children of your own?
all my children.
Yes, how many children did you?
Well, there were 3 boys and 3 girls in my family. Yeah.
Oh, those were your brothers and sisters.
Yes.
But your own children, did you
Oh.
have children?
Oh, well, we did have children, but they're scattered everywhere, too,
Uh-huh.
you know. So, some in California, some are here, and there's so many of them that moved out in California and to all these places now. So up here, you don't get as much as, but that's where all the people are, is California now.
They all moved, you think a lot of them moved away
A lot
from
of them
here?
are, yes, they are.
Now I heard you speak of your grandson. Does he live nearby? Do you have a grandchild who lives in the area?
Grandson. Oh, well, we call him a grandson. He's not really, but he used to spend most of his time in our house. And,
Okay, we have another picture coming.
and this is right. No, there's one here. This is where we put all these things. I hope you don't mind putting them on the refrigerator. But this is all our families. So if you want,
No,
yeah.
I don't know if we'll get them all, but
No, you don't have to, but I just
we
want to let you
can
know.
we can try a couple. Where's your grandson?
My grandson is
Here's-
here, but he's here. But then you'll see him someplace else in
Okay.
Maryland or someplace else.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's your
yeah.
grandson.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well let's go back.
And
to-
this is my mother. This is my mother. She's a very handsome woman.
Yes.
Yeah, and then this is Jason. Jason, he's the same one as this, but he got different clothes on. You know,
Okay.
so, and this is my sister Caroline, and I'm June, and yeah.
Okay, where do we have Caroline and June?
Caroline is over
Okay.
here on the right.
Yep.
Yeah, and Janice and Rosemary is over here.
Yep.
And I am over here, and I'm
Oh,
June.
that's a great picture.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who is this gal?
This one here, right here.
Yeah.
Well, we were
Just
this
a
is
friend.
my husband. This is my husband, and we like to walk in the woods and stuff
Oh,
like
nice.
that. So that's one of those, and we had gotten.
Okay.
And these my flowers. My mother. This is where we lived, and my mother loved flowers, and so we had a lot
Okay.
of flowers there.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, we did, and we.
And is this your mom too?
Yes, that's my mother. That she was 100.
She was over 100 there.
Yeah, she was 100.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
And she was very well, and she only stayed in nursing home for 6 months.
Okay.
And then she died.
Well, let's go. Shall we go back? June, I'd just like to close off by asking you, you said you were married twice, so you have a second husband who gave you that beautiful necklace.
Yeah.
And so you had 2 successful marriages. Your first husband died, is that right?
My first husband.
Passed away, did he?
My first husband. No, Ricky Dornell. No. It's not my. It wasn't. Because they lived up in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Some of them lived up
Yes.
in these areas too. You know, so.
But Chester Ranlett,
Yes, yes. And
Yes.
he lived in He lived in, like I said,
Cape Cod?
no. Well, Cape Cod, we went to Cape Cod too. We stayed down there for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yep.
And then Chester, and then he died.
Uh-huh.
And he was, we lived for a long time. And he was very involved in things down in Cape Cod.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, he did all kinds of things. He knew how to do everything.
Yep.
So, yeah, so he was very smart at everything.
Well, let's get back to
Yeah, okay. Hopkinton,
no, it's
That's
the
problem.
interview.
See, we have so many people.
You have so
yeah.
many people. Tell me what you like best about how Hopkinton has changed.
Yeah.
What things you like and what things are changed in a way that you might not like as much. What do you think overall?
Well, I think that I do miss the old town, where we went to school.
Uh-huh.
That was the best place, because we were there all the time. And I remember that I think we were just we were supposed to be talking or whatever. And so the teacher said, June, you're, she was like, June, you're not supposed to be looking out the window. And I'm not kidding. That was the school teacher. So you never know. That's why when Lisa's like me, we're young enough to know, So how old are you now?
I'm 68.
Well, you sure don't look it.
Oh, I knew
That's
you'd be my
great.
friend.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's great. I thought you were a lot younger than that. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Well, June, I really appreciate having you invite me into your home, and this has been terrific. So maybe we'll close off the interview.
Right.
This is an interview conducted, I'm closing it now, I'm Michael and Holmes. This is June 11th, and I've had a lovely chat with June Ranlett. And thank you so much, June, for participating in the oral history. It's been very enjoyable.
I didn't know what was coming when you were coming. I didn't know where I was.
Well, that's okay. We've got some
So that
great
was really
photos.
good,
I think it's been fun. Thank you
Right,
again,
yeah.
June.